Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Weirdo. Of course, as soon as I press start, I know it starts running, which is always cool. Love that. So I got the right green to make this top, to work on this top. And then I also, last night, I started working on the back for the pillow. But then I was thinking, I was like, I would save myself a lot of work and grief if I just attached the pillow as I sewed it, as I crocheted it. So I'm crocheting to the end and then attaching it to the edges as I go, so I don't have to count how many stitches are across, and then I don't have to count how many like rows down I've gone. And then I also picked up a I don't know. I know that the hook was just in there, and I don't know where it went. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna work on the cups first. Uh, so some of these stitches that were turquoise got pulled out. So I'm just gonna go redo them using a 5.5 millimeter hook as per the pattern. And then the last stitch I'm not going to finish with that color. Oh, I love a clean center pull. Just makes things easier, doesn't it? Then I'm going to chain up one, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch it was just in, and I'm going to carry both yarns. I wasn't planning on going live today, so it'd probably, be pretty short and pretty chill, but I just I ended up not going to my meeting this morning, and therefore I had more time than anticipated, and yeah, so because usually by this time I'm like wore out from social interactions, uh, but uh, I slept in because I've been hitting the snooze or just blatantly ignoring my alarm clocks a lot lately. So I'm gonna try to get like 5-6 stitches at least with both colors underneath, and then I'm gonna take my scissors, which are somewhere. I mean, something I can always fall back on, right? Here's the scissors. And I'm gonna cut the excess strings. Excuse me. So I tried to find this on Etsy, and then with Ravelry, I couldn't sign on as per usual. I didn't look on Ribbler because I didn't know if it would be there, and but the concept for the top is kind of the same pattern that's used pretty frequently for bathing suit tops, where it's so pretty sure you can find something similar. But when I looked back, I couldn't find the seller or the item on Etsy. So I use a stitch marker to mark the top because that's where I add extra stitches to keep the shape getting bigger and bigger. until it reaches the size that I want it to. And then once I pass that, go back in and I replace my stitch marker. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I hope it's a good day. Evening. Recharging. And, you know, I like to, I know that, the Sunday scaries and, getting ready for the week, come up for a lot of people. As someone who kind of does the same thing every day, I don't really experience them the same way that I used to. But as you go into the week, I hope that, whatever social batteries you need get charged and whatnot. Now that I have, I remember how fast this top went. I thought it went really fast, but I wasn't sure. So that's why I started making it, really quickly. I just needed the green because there was, a green situation if you were on that live. But also, when I'm seeing how fast the back of this pillow is going, hopefully the top stitching won't be difficult, and getting it to look like I want it to. If you weren't here for the decision, I was trying to. So on the front of the pillow, it says "Skin of a Killer Bella," and because it's a Twilight pillow, and then the back is going to be a quote from Jacob. So the front is Edward, back is Jacob. But I tried to do mosaic crochet like I did on the Edward side, and the words are just too big. There are too many words to fit it on the current size with the current size yarn. So I could make some adjustments if I wanted to use different size yarn, but the time that could take up, it's possible if I went down to a 4-weight, but it wouldn't be chenille yarn. So the back would definitely not be as soft, which isn't a huge problem, but I wouldn't have time to order chenille if I wanted it. And then if I wanted to do the mosaic crochet like I did before, then that would take more time just making the pattern. Making the pattern, getting the sizing right, making everything look like I want it to. All of that. So I think that that's going to be future goals and not current goals. But we did, both Crystal hooked that yarn, and I looked for some lighter weight chenille yarns. And on the Premier website, there are a handful of 5-weight bulky weight chenille yarns, but there's actually one 4-weight one that's classified as a 4-weight, and it's a Pixie Dust Brights. So there are, I think, 18 colors of the chenille, of the Pixie Dust Brights. So if you are looking for a lighter weight chenille, it has no reviews. So I mean, there a lot of the yarn on the Premier page doesn't have reviews, but if you're looking for a review of it, I've never tried it. I think I'm going to try to make the pillow in regular value acrylic, and then if it works, maybe I'll order the chenille just to show what it looks like in the chenille. I don't know. Maybe I guess I wouldn't need that if it's the same size. should be fine. Although, you know, chenille is fluffier and will cover more stitches, so you can kind of change the stitches that you do to, you know, when you're doing your double crochets and stuff to cover those the other color that you're carrying. You can cover them up a little easier with like a fluffy yarn because it just fluffs right over it. Whereas when you do mosaic with a yarn like this, with a yarn that has no halo, no fluff, no nothing, you're gonna see a lot more. So I guess I'd probably just make the pattern and wouldn't do the chenille at all, unless I decided to sell it or something, and then I'd get the chenille. But anywho, that's talking in the future, and I'm just making in the present. Making a present. I guess, no, this is a commission. That's a present. Well, this could be a present. I don't know this person's life. I feel like this is one of those things you buy yourself, though, right? I don't know. I took a different stitch marker. So I'm going to do 3 stripes of this. And what I'm doing is I'm working up the cups at the same size. Doesn't it look like a peacock feather? The beginning really looks like peacock feather until you add the yellow, and then you're like, okay, yeah, it looks a little different, but it's very like peacock colors. No, I did have another green. I had like more of a spring green. So it's much lighter than what I originally had listed. But I needed a Walmart order anyways, and I was like, oh, Walmart probably has the right green. And luckily they had it in stock, because my Walmart is terrible about keeping yarn in stock most days. So this is the Red Heart Super Saver in the color Patty Green, Paddy. I watched Twilight and half of New Moon last night, because Crystal inspired me. She had just watched New Moon. I made a mistake on the live. I thought that Patrick was, it's not Patrick. Oh my gosh, I was thinking of Patty, Patrick, but because I thought that Jacob, where's Patrick in the whole fucking series? I thought his fur as a werewolf was black, but it's not. He's like it's like a brown, reddish brown mix, and there's another werewolf that's all black, but some people had asked if I was going to use faux fur for the side of Jacob, and I said no way, because I hate dealing with faux fur, one, and then also I felt like it would really be hard to read anything I wrote, and with a mosaic crochet, if I used that. If I used faux fur, so just decided to. I didn't even think about that when I was making the pillow. I was actually looking for chenille yarn, and at first I was looking at colors that would like be closer to his skin tone, which I did find some, but then like I felt like originally I was gonna make 2 pillows, and I felt like even though, like the cold and the warm like contrast is part of the series, as like a display pillow, I didn't know if it would be like visually like appealing, if that makes sense. Like I didn't know if it would like look right. So that's why I decided to pick kind of this like cool toned millennial pink chenille, because I'm like, oh, it's like love, and he like loves her, and he's like infatuated with her. And then the writing's gonna be in this darker kind of dusty pink, which is called Orchid. Which I feel like Orchid's kind of a misleading name, because when I think orchid, I think purple. And this is more of like dark dusty rose, or like mulberry. Mulberry can be like dark red sometimes too, can it be? I don't know. But I felt like these two would kind of give like that like I love you like kind of vibe. That Jacob has. So I could have done his skin tone, but I didn't. Also, it was like I wanted whatever text on there to have good contrast, but also have so putting like a medium tone would make it harder to have good contrast between anything put on top of it. And now I'm wondering if I put this in the right stitch. I think it was actually supposed to be here. No, guess not. But I just wanted to check in. I think I'm going to keep it light today so that I can just kind of stay on schedule, do some cleaning, do some chores that I've been neglecting for like a week, as I've been kind of just like not really feeling, you know, myself, and trying to get through things. So hopefully I can be a little bit productive. Although I feel like the lives that are, 7 or 6 days a week, I feel like I've been getting so much done. Like I feel so much more productive than I've ever been in my whole life. So that's cool at the very least. At least that's happening. But yeah, so I will let you all go. Thank you for hanging out with me for just a little bit. I moved up the lives to be at 3 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Pacific time. Um, but I should, if they can kind of continue how they normally go, they will probably go longer. If I'm finding that timing isn't working, I can go back. But when I start at 6 and then I have a 7-hour live, it's a little tricky, because then I'm up a lot later. And then, all that stuff. So anyways, I will talk to you later, and hopefully I'll have some more makeup videos coming up this week, because I don't think I did any last week, which I need to. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great day, and yep.